and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I wanted to show you the difference of three very similar looking watercolor sets that I bought recently and show you a bit what they can do, what they can't do, how much you would pay for them, if you should buy them, if you should not buy them. I think I'm just gonna start with the first one, which you've probably already seen on my review. That's the 36 pan watercolor palette from Stuart Semple or Culturehustle. Looks very nice, and it comes with a little brush, but so do the others. So let me pack that together. I will talk about more each of them a bit later. This one is the, I think it's 18 pan set from Sakura Koi. It also looks very similar. It has the same sponges and also comes with a brush. And the last one, that is I've got that from AliExpress, and it's a Chinese brand. It just doesn't have any sticker on it. But according to AliExpress, it's called Bianyo, something like that. I'm just gonna call them the Chinese paints. And they have a little, I don't know, loop to hold them. Also very similar setup and slightly different colors. Also some sponges, but two brushes, and I'm gonna try out those brushes, of course. So first of all, I made some swatches, which I'm gonna show you now. Okay, here's my swatch card. You see them? So these are all the colors that I just showed you in the pan. This area here, hope you can see it, that's the Culturehustle. It's a bit more because there's twice as many colors in there. This here is Sakura Koi, and those are the Bianyo Chinese colors. And now I will switch the camera around and show you the details, the very dirty details. Good, let's start with the cheapest first. Those are the Chinese watercolor pans. I will add the price in US dollars, British pounds and euros on the screen. I paid about, I think, 10 euros for it, but actually didn't pay it because Nasreen bought it for me. And she was the one who found out that those colors look very similar to the koi colors, and we decided to investigate if they're the same quality or if they just use a similar package and different paints. And yes, there were some differences, but yeah, I will show you them now. So you get two paintbrushes. This is the medium set. You can get a smaller set, which is even cheaper. And there's also a big, I think the biggest set is 36, which would be the size of the Stuart Semple set. And I will give you the price for that one too. I think it was about 14 euros. Doesn't make much of a difference. They're all super cheap. But that comes with a price. So here we have the first row. And even though the colors lay down super nicely, they are unfortunately very chalky. All of the sets come with a white, which I think is very unnecessary. If they at least would cover the black, like gouache paint, you could use them for highlights, but you just get a useless white. And the gray is still giving me nightmares. It's so super opaque and chalky and awful, and neither of those colors really stick. I tried to glaze over them, and in some cases I lifted a bit of the color, like with this here, and this, and you don't get any informations on light fastness, which pigments are used, but you pay hardly anything for it. You don't pay shipping as far as I know, so they're very cheap. And I think I will show you the thingies, the brushes now. All of the paintbrushes screw counterclockwise, and here you have a flat one. I think maybe the other one is even. Oh yeah, you have a pointed tip and a flat tip. Doesn't seem to leak. I'll pick up a bit of color. Yeah, that one is actually quite okay. It might drip a little, but not too bad. Okay, so on to the next set. That's the Sakura Koi Watercolor, and I'm sure that most of you heard of this brand before, but more because of the jelly rolls, and like these are the Sakura jelly rolls, and they also make brush pens, which are quite good. But I'm gonna roast the watercolors now, and they're not as good as the other products, which you will see now. So we have the same palette as in the first set. Ooh, I can see my own phone. Yeah. So, to the touch, now that I've used every single one of those colors, they feel very grainy. And why that is a problem, you will see in a minute. First, I just want to talk about the set a bit more. So there's also a paintbrush, which I will show you. Still has a bit of sizing on it. It works. So as I said, the paintbrushes are all very similar, and so are the pans. So I suspect that every company produces the packaging or has the packaging from the same brand. They just make the pigments themselves. Yeah, that's a decent watercolor brush. Nothing to complain about. 2 sponges to clean out the brush. There is no pink. It's just this yeah, the other sets both have a very bright pink. This has a more natural mixing set, but I think that the Chinese paint as well as the Sakura watercolor set both have all the colors you need if you buy a bigger set like the 36, and I think there's even a 72 or something. There's a really huge set available on Amazon. The 36 pen cost about 40 euros. I think you might get it for cheaper. This here is the 18 pen set, and I paid 16 or 20 euros. But 40 is quite a lot for the quality. So the second row, this is Sakura Koi. It is not as chalky as the Chinese paints are, but as you can see, there's a lot of binder in them, and it leaves streaks even though I used a lot of color. Some of them stain a bit more, some lift off very easy. The glazing was okay, but, and this is a very big but, as soon as the watercolor paper has only the slightest texture, it doesn't have to be fully mega grainy paper, but the cat and the background are both Sakura, and this cat and this cat are the Bianyo Chinese paints. So we'll see if I can focus on that. This is not granulation. This actually looks like the cat has horrible rashes. I would say that's poorly mulled paint. You can see the paint particles forming on them. Yeah, I think the camera is picking it up. The yellow is also going over the black, which is not what I kind of like it when I can make the line art and then just paint over it and don't have to make the line art a second time. In this case, I would have to paint the eyes again. And the background is really nice. Those are the 10 or 14 euro paints, which are super cheap. Still a bit chalky, but they lay down like normal watercolors. There's nothing wrong with them. And here, I mean, just look at this background. It looks horrible. It looks absolutely disgusting. Yeah. The cat itself is nice. Is nice. I have the same problem with the line art being covered by the yellow paint because it's very opaque. But yeah, I didn't expect that much more from super cheap paints. I did expect more from Sakura. And look at this. It is bad. It is really bad. But yeah, and enough for the roasting. Let's get to the third set of colors. I'm gonna put that away and show you the Stuart Semple paints. About the Koi watercolors, they actually come with the color descriptions on the back, so it's a bit more info. Same goes for the Culturehustle Stuart Semple paints. They have names, they don't have any pigments. It says good or excellent light fastness for all of them. I don't know, I haven't tried them, but they don't tell you which pigments are used. They don't tell you which binder is used. I mean, he did say in a video that they have a brand new binder. I don't know what it is, but yeah, this is all the info you get. As you can see, I've used this for mixing quite a bit. It's also bigger because I didn't bother to spend even more money on shitty watercolor. This set only comes in one size, which is 36 colors. The others can range from 9 to 72 colors. So, last set. Those are all, well, let's say most of them are very satisfying. I would range the quality somewhere between the Winsor & Newton Cotman. They're not as good as Schminke, but I would say half of the colors are at least better than the Winsor & Newton. So, decent watercolor, maybe not the most perfect artist grade, but they're not that chalky. Most of them are not chalky at all. They're very pigmented, nice and bright colors. It's nice to work with them, and you've probably seen dozens of paintings that I did with them on my Instagram. So yeah, here are all the colors. There's just 2 or 3 things I'm not happy about. First is the white, which is absolutely unnecessary. Please stop including white in watercolor paints. What am I supposed to do with that? It's like, either make it a proper, I don't know, covering white, or leave it and put in another color. The second is the pink. I'm not entirely sure if it's supposed to be the pinkest pink, which Stuart Semple actually got famous for, or which is well known for, because this is not a very pink. It just looks normal, and for comparison, this is the Chinese pink, which is a lot pinker. They both glow a bit under UV light, so there might be some of the pink granulate in it. But, of course, I made some pink watercolor myself out of the pinkest pink, and that's what it looks like. It looks a bit dull on camera, but I can assure you it is glowing a lot brighter. I have my UV light. I have some UV light here, which doesn't really pick it up, but even with my self-made pinkest pink, I got a brighter color. And I don't know why he didn't include his pink and yellow and blue and black in the palette, because those are really great colors, super vibrant, they glow. Maybe it's because he already has paints, just not watercolors, and he wanted to make additional colors. But honestly, if you have such famous colors, why not include them in the watercolor paint? It's also the pink, the purple, and the lilac, or whatever you would call these colors. Those had the least pigment and the most binder in them. And that's slightly disappointing because I wanted a pigmented pink. And the second thing is the black, which is called Void on the sets. And again, for someone who made the blackest pigment, not the blackest black, but the darkest pigment, this black is just disappointing. It's more a dark gray. Those are the other blacks, and they're much darker. And I also made watercolor out of the black powder, and just look at the difference. This is a black hole, this is a gray mess. So yeah, in general I like this set. I think the quality is much better, and I paid 40 British pounds, which would be around 45 euros. That means it didn't cost much more than the big Sakura Koi Watercolor set, and the quality is so much better. It's immensely better. Yeah, so make of it what you want. If anyone from the Culturehustle team is watching this, please make me watercolors with a proper pink and black. I love your colors and I want to try them out. Look at it, the pink looks very bright when it's dry, but on paper it doesn't do it for me. It's not that mind-blowing. But yeah, just wait for it. Now I'm gonna tell you which one you should buy and which one you shouldn't buy. I think it might be obvious by now, but yeah. This is very small, which is a bit silly given that there would be much more space in the entire set, and it's a bit hard to squeeze water out. Yeah, there's more water coming out of the twisty thing than the actual paintbrush. I don't like that. Yeah, no, that doesn't convince me. But in general, if you want proper brushes that you can fill with water, I would go for the Carandash. See if I can find them. Yeah, I have them right here. They look like that. They're a bit expensive, but they are really good, especially if you do things like urban sketching and want to take them somewhere where you can have a big, a lot of water. Also on the airplane, they're great on flights. So use those, they're better than all three of them. But yeah, back to the video. Okay, now to the verdicts. Which ones are good, which ones are bad. The first one is the Chinese Bianyo paint. If you're just starting, or if you maybe just look for student grade paints for school, I would totally recommend them because they have nice colors, they lay down nicely. They're a bit chalky, so they might not be suitable for super long lasting professional paintings that you want to sell for $500 or something. But otherwise, they were surprisingly good, and you can get bigger and smaller sets of them. This here is the 18 pan. The 36 costs about 14 euros, so it's cheap as heck. And you don't pay any shipping for AliExpress, as far as I know. So yeah, if you want cheap colors and don't mind if the quality is not perfect, then absolutely go for it. Next set. Uh, those are these Sakura Koi. Those are Japanese watercolor paints. And the 36 pen set, this here is the 18, costs almost as much as the Culturehustle set by Stuart Semple. Should you buy it? Absolutely not. The only good thing about those is they have some more useful pigments that you can actually mix, and no bright pink or purple or pastel green, because to be honest, who needs those? But the quality was horrible. The cat I painted looked like it has a horrible skin disease. And the only reason why someone might buy them is because they also come in a super duper big set with 70 or 80 colors. That's not worth it because you just need six or seven colors to mix all of the other ones, so stay away from that. There might be some good reviews, but I think they're from YouTubers who never tried anything else. Either that, or I don't know why you would think good of them. Also, if you don't have any slightly textured paper and only the super smoothest and silkiest of all watercolor papers, you might get better results, but nobody has that. I think every watercolor paper has some texture at some point, and you will notice that. Third pen, Stuart Semple, Culturehustle. Out of those three, they are by far the best, and I would recommend them to people who are just getting started and who want a lot of colors and don't like mixing. They are not the most bestest color, like I would say Schmincke is better, Daniel Smith is better, there's some others. So if you're a professional watercolor artist and sell your paintings and maybe want to hang them up in a gallery, you probably already have a set with really expensive paints, but the whole point of this palette is to make watercolors available for everyone without being that expensive, and it worked quite well. What I don't like so much about Culturehustle is that the shipping is very expensive. Maybe not if you live in the UK. I paid, I think, 10 euros just for the shipping, which adds up. So if you order from Culturehustle, you probably want to get a bigger set of stuff and not just one set of watercolors, maybe some powders or potions or whatever. This is usually what I do, but yeah. And also the pink and the black, which I expected to be very good, were not very good. Everything else was fine. Maybe some other recommendations if you don't want to spend a lot of money but still have nice colors. The St. Petersburg White Nights are very cheap and still have a very good quality compared to the price. those are some that I would also recommend. But I'm talking about those 3 sets, and get those. Definitely get those. Yeah, that was it actually. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna link all the sellers below, even though there's one that I don't recommend that much, but yeah, still feel free to check out all of them. And I will also link you Nasreen, because she was the brain behind all of this. She did a lot of investigating, and without her I wouldn't even know those exist, and I'm quite happy with them. I will still be giving them away to a family member because she doesn't have any watercolors, and I have 3 sets which I don't need. I only need 1 of them. So yeah, check out Nasreen's channel. She has some very nice art videos and talks about art supplies and makes cute drawings. And she helped me a lot. Thank you. And thank you all for watching. I hope I could help you. If you had experience with one of those sets, please let me know. Maybe I was biased, or I just had bad luck with the Sakura paints and they're actually really good. Who knows? I'm still not convinced, but if you have anything to say about that, please leave me comments. I really like reading them. I like replying to them. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye!